Now, David is, for many of you who don't know, is Chief Executive Officer and member of the Board of Directors of the Howard Hughes Corporation. I didn't know there was a Howard Hughes Corporation, but he has won awards as entrepreneur and top CEO. Today, we recognize David's outstanding commitment and contributions to find a cure for Alzheimer's. This man takes risks, and he knows that is what ADDF is all about. His mother has Alzheimer's, and his father is a dedicated caregiver. He knows the anguish of a primary caregiver who is often so overwhelmed. That is what motivates David to help us at ADDF. He does this for his family. He also does it for millions of families like his. David, please come up here.
Hello, everyone. I'm so incredibly humbled to be receiving this honor. Truly, I don't deserve it. My introduction to ADDF came through an intimate luncheon hosted by Susan Goodfriend and ADDF board member Pamela Newman. It was inspiring to learn about all of the work and research being done to find a cure. It is worth noting that I have been involved with Alzheimer's-related organizations for many years, including those created by my dear friends Maria Shriver and Larry Ruvo. Alzheimer's gained significance in my life about 10 years ago when my mother began to be affected by this debilitating disease. Her condition has deteriorated significantly each year, to the point where she most often does not know who I am when I come to visit. Although she does seem to know that I am someone special in her life. You see, my mom has a form of dementia called Lewy body, which causes her, among other things, to have active hallucinations, further separating her from reality and complicating care for her. Losing my mother in this way has been very difficult for me, and especially difficult for my children. It has been particularly hard for me to see the impact that my mother's illness has had on my father. Believing that everything in life happens for a reason, I know that it is now my responsibility to help find a cure for this terrible illness so deeply impacting my family. What is most frightening to me is that our story is not unique. Alzheimer's is already one of the leading causes of death in the world. A new person develops Alzheimer's in the US every minute, and one's risk of developing this disease doubles every 5 years after turning 65. I don't like those odds. Alzheimer's will impact each of us directly or indirectly in some way. Unless we find a cure, it will only become more destructive and affect tens of millions more. However, there is good reason to be hopeful about the research being done. Dr. Howard Phillott, who you just heard from, is a renowned leader in this field and an incredibly talented individual making progress to help rid the world of this horrible illness. On top of that, he is a smart, lovable, great guy who I'm pleased to call my friend. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the ADDF and all of the extraordinary individuals that make the organization as special as it is. Those of you who know me have heard me say that nothing in life happens by accident. And it is no work of chance that this organization stands out. First, I'd like to thank Leonard and Ronald Lauder. One of the key differentiators, as we've heard about today, of the ADDF is that 100% of every dollar donated goes directly to research. That is so extraordinary. The result of the overwhelming generosity bestowed on the ADDF by the lauders, who fund all the organization's operating costs. On behalf of everyone in this room, thank you so very much to both of you. A heartfelt thank you to the entire ADDF board for their continued support of this critical cause, and specifically to Jenny and Giorgio. If you don't know them, you should. The ADDF is fortunate to have such committed and dedicated people working on its behalf. Thank you to you both for all of your help in making this luncheon a success. I would also like to thank my host committee and the Howard Hughes team for all of your support, as well as my friends and business partners who made significant contributions for this day, but equally important, for always being there for me. Thank you. And I also want to recognize my family, including my sister Amy, who made the trip from Texas to be up with us today. I'd be remiss not to take a moment to thank the three things that drive me most in my life. My three greatest accomplishments, my children. Zach and Carly, who live in New York and are here today to share this moment with me. And my son Kyle, who lives and works in California. I also want to recognize my future daughter-in-law, Zach's fiancée, Jackie, and my future son-in-law, AJ, although he hasn't asked Carly to marry him yet. So we'll see where that goes. No pressure. No pressure. I love him. He's a great young man. And of course, my beautiful and amazing partner, Anna. I love you very much. And I love my family, and it really drives me to do everything that I do in my life. Finally, a special thank you to my office, Diana and Kay. Kay for putting up with me for the last 24 years. Who, in addition to continuing to handle everything else she is working on, played such an instrumental role, including countless phone calls, in making this luncheon a rocking success and bringing attention to this important cause. I love you both, wherever you are in the room. And I'd like to take this opportunity now to introduce someone really special to me. I was thinking about what would make this day most memorable. And I thought to myself, who better than to introduce my best friend? What's significant about that is that he also happens to be my father. They say that Alzheimer's can be most devastating to caretakers who take on the burden of caring for the sick, their loved ones. My dad has been nothing short of amazing in caring for my mother in this difficult stage of her life. And he has truly been the ultimate role model for the entire family, showing us what it means to love someone unconditionally and truly caring for them in their darkest moment. It gives me great pleasure to introduce my father, Neil Weinreb.
I am what David said. But mostly I'm a caregiver. A caregiver and a husband, like many of you sitting out there. A husband who worries 24 hours a day, watching my lovely wife of 63 years struggle to talk, walk, or even eat. She is hostage to a wheelchair and seldom gets out of the house. She's declining every month, though I have trouble admitting it. I don't want to admit it. I don't want to believe that this beautiful woman who shared my dreams, my hopes, my ambitions, and slept beside me all these years, is now a shell of her former self. She's wasting away in a hospital bed beside me. She doesn't know my name or who I am most of the time. She certainly doesn't understand what a husband is. She knows my smile, my eyes, my face, and she particularly loves the kisses that I give her every morning and night when we're together. This is a woman who walked 2 miles a day, read newspapers from cover to cover, could discuss politics, fashion, sports, the world, or any other subject she decided to entertain. She's drifting away now without any knowledge of where she has been, where she's going, or who she is. I don't profess to be a doctor, a scientist, or a dedicated researcher. I'm just a husband, just a caregiver, desperately in love with a woman whose heart belongs to me forever. And all I can give her now is my love and the care she's getting at home. Don't misunderstand, I'm very grateful for the fact that I can pay the people that help me offer her such wonderful care. Many people are not in my position. I know that, and I think about it often. What is dementia? I think I can tell you quickly. Close your eyes out there for a moment. All of you, just close your eyes for just a moment. Think of your best friend, your family, your children, your wife, all the wonderful places you've been, and the more wonderful places you're going to. And now open them. It's all gone, forgotten, wiped clean. No memory. No memory of them, no memory of where you've been, no memory of where you're going. That's dementia. As cruel and as rugged as it is. It's a known fact, however, that this hideous, ravaging destroyer of families can strike anyone. Any one of you sitting out there. Or me. It doesn't differentiate by color. It doesn't differentiate by age. It is destroying the dreams of a lifetime. Anina, my wife, suffers, as you heard David say, from Lewy body dementia, defined by active hallucinations, and in many cases, bouts of palsy. As such, she talks to me every morning about the armed men who pillage our home, or the non-existent children that visit her daily with gifts and candy. I wish I could understand her. I wish I could converse with her or understand the mumbles that tumble out of her mouth. But I can't. With all I have described, I'm blessed with a family who offers me the support I desperately need. 7 grandchildren who really don't understand any of this, but who manage to call to see how things are with their grandmother and with me. 2 daughters, one in Canada, much too far away, and one, thank God, in Dallas, my Amy, who is here today, as you heard David say, who finds time to cook a meal or come by to see how things are with her mom. Lastly, a son. Not just any son, but a son who has taken up the cause, this cause, and whose creativity and vision led him here today. I think he set a new standard for giving at this luncheon, and I couldn't be more proud. For his mom, his love, his support, and his voice bring her the respite she needs. He's made it possible for her to look forward to a massage every week and a piano player, believe it or not, who plays the music she so enjoys even though she doesn't understand it. My son is there night and day for me as well. When the phone rings at midnight from around the world, I know who it is. He's made his mission in life to see that I travel any opportunity I get with him. As much as I may object, I find that when I'm away, it does clear my head. It does give me what I need, that little bit of time myself. I know his love comes from the fact that we have not just been father and son, but believe it or not, we've been best friends all our life. That and the fact that he knows what his mother means to me. And I know that that motivates his actions. What we then, we poor souls that take care of the afflicted, what do we have? What do we have to leave this luncheon with? We have hope. We have hope, and it's a powerful force. And it's made even more powerful by those of you sitting out here, joining everybody today, by your contributions, by your pledges, by all the things you have done to be part of this. It's what drives me every day to know that we will find something soon, I hope, to at least curtail this desperate falling of these people to a lower and lower place. And ultimately, I know with every being that's in me, I know that we will find a cure. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to take just a moment to introduce something that I think will give you a lot of pleasure. It's very meaningful to me, and I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, who was here? Did someone come to visit you?
Nobody yet.
No.
Nobody.
Nobody yet.
Was I think Zach stopped over.
Jack did.
Yeah, my oldest son Zach,
Yeah.
and his fiancée Jackie.
Yes, Jackie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were here.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, and they were lovely, weren't they?
Lovely. Yeah.
Good. All right. Should we sing a song together? I love this song because it makes me think of you. birds fly over the rainbow. Maybe leave that playing, but just turn it lower. We wanted to share that with you because this was when I was home last weekend, and Zach and Jackie had been to the house about 10 minutes before I came over. That's how long her memory, how quickly she forgets, really on an immediate basis. I'm so grateful and moved by everyone's generosity helping the ADDF. Dad, thank you so much for being so inspirational, for being my hero, and for what you're doing for our mother. In recognition of my support for ADDF, you heard Paula mention earlier that I would match any gift, but I'm just going to go ahead and commit the $100,000, and whatever anyone else does here will get us a step closer to such an important thing. I think that's all. It's humbling to receive this award, but the truth is my father should be receiving this award, not me. And my mom was an amazing woman, and I wish you would have known her. Thank you.
Well, what do you say after what we've all heard here today? I don't think I've ever heard anyone give such a loving, honest, and raw account of what it is like to watch someone you love slowly disappear before your eyes. Neil, thank you for gracing our afternoon with your love, your commitment. And David, congratulations to you. Thank you very much for your generosity. The Lauder family, of course, all of you in this room. I hope you leave the room as inspired as I have been this afternoon by what you have heard. To the extraordinary scientists and doctors who are leading the way, we have deep gratitude for your efforts as well. So I want you to leave the room on a celebratory note. We set an all-time record today. We have raised almost $1.5 million. Bravo. Thank you again for your generosity. Let's keep on fighting, and congratulations again to the Weinrebs. Have a good rest of the afternoon.